E3 is over, you know. Now we know where Xbox is and where PlayStation is, and I guess kind of where the PC is, but nobody ever really reps the PC. It's kind of like, hey, this title's also coming out for PC too. The end, But anyways, so there was a whole bunch of flack, that Xbox got where they were like, no used games and always online, and then like if you can't always have an internet connection, then you should just play the Xbox 360, which would defeat the purpose of buying the new console if that's the case. Which I don't even know why they would say that. I mean, I understand the part of wanting to make this whole online, online always thing, just like when Obama was elected and he was going to do, internet everywhere. Everybody's going to have internet. You live in farmland, you're going to have internet too, everybody. And, that never happened. So, I think a lot of people argue like, oh, they should have kept pushing for that. They should have. It's how they make progress for the future and all this stuff. And like, I don't really think that's true. We're not at that point yet. We're like very far away from that. I mean, you can even see that. If you play Black Ops 2, you know that we have difficulty just playing with people from California, playing with people from Arizona. Like there's so much lag and everything, and it's like you can't even get that right. How you want to get this other thing, big old internet world happening? But it's like I don't know. I get what they were trying to do, and just like when the first Xbox came out, it had a built-in Ethernet port, which was like, oh, everybody was like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Nobody's gonna have that, blah blah blah. And then that's what really like launched them forward. That and the Xbox Live ecosystem that they created, which was way better than PlayStation's online world by leaps and bounds even today. But what are they doing now? They're telling you, hey, you can't buy any used games. Like me, I buy new games, I buy used games. Usually the ones I buy used are the games that I know are like crappy or whatever. I just want to play something to take up some time, while I'm waiting for the next new AAA title to come out. And I don't want to spend the whole $65 to freaking play a game that's going to be crap or not as good. I'd rather spend 20 bucks, 30 bucks, even just rent it like, the Aliens game, which I thought was going to be amazing. I went out and paid for the whole thing, rented it at Redbox the day it came out, and then realized, wow, this game is the biggest piece of crap ever created. So I went back and took off my reserve and everything and put it towards Last of Us, which was the greatest thing I've ever done. But it's I get what a lot of people are saying, GameStop is taking away the money from the publisher and everything. But I mean, I understand that, but the video game industry is like billions and billions of dollars every year. And for us as consumers, and GameStop employs all these people, they sponsor a lot of things and blah blah, and they give us the chance to like buy these crappy games that we would never really buy. So in a way, the publisher needs them, so this way people play their crappy games and then be like, oh hey, that game wasn't so bad. It was from this developer or that publisher. Oh, I'm gonna go buy their next game. You know, and it's like, who is my console? Okay, like I have a PC. I have a couple PCs that can all game and everything. And I have both the PlayStation and the Xbox. I have every console so far that we've created, with the exception of Super Nintendo. And then it's like, who? My console's main purpose is to play video games. It's not to watch TV, not to watch Netflix. I bought it to play video games. If I want to watch TV, we already created TVs a long time ago. I could watch TV. If I want to watch TV on my computer, I can watch everything. HBO, all that stuff. I can watch all that stuff for free on my computer. I can watch TV for free on my computer. I can watch movies and all that stuff. And I can still play games on my computer. So why does my console have to do everything else? Its main function should be to play video games. And if it can't do that, then what is the point of having it when almost all the games can be played on a computer? Not only that too, but as time goes on, you can get emulators. Like I have an Xbox emulator on my computer. I could play Xbox One games, and I'm sure there's a 360 one out and a PS3 one out and all this stuff. So it's like, don't tell me what I can and can't do with my video game console, because that's what it is, a video game console. And you know what, a lot of other people didn't really, I haven't heard actually anybody talk about this really, but it's like the, what's his name, Don Patrick or Matic, whatever his name is, the Xbox guy, when he was saying that the only people who don't have internet are the people in submarines. So really what he was saying is that all the servicemen really, like, who protect our country and all this stuff, and like especially, this is what I also find odd, is that whenever something happens to a military branch or whatever, everybody's up in arms, but nobody's talked about this, that pretty much Microsoft is saying that who cares about you people who are like in Afghanistan and everything, and taking the Xboxes with them and stuff, so this way they're not getting crazy and blowing each other up from being bored and all this craziness, you know, and giving them an outlet to express themselves and release, you know, tension and built up aggression and blah blah. And like, well, screw you guys can't buy the new console, you know, stay playing that one, and while all the games move to the new consoles, and you guys will all have to play all the old games that everybody's already played. You know, it's like, how can you do that, and how can nobody talk about that really? Like, for me, that's one of the main reasons why I'm leaning more towards PlayStation. To be honest, I love Xbox. The reason I love Xbox, I feel the controller is better. It's better for FPS games. Other games, nah, it's kind of iffy. But FPS games, I think it's the better controller besides, of course, mouse and keyboard. But, like, I don't really want to support a company and give them, first you're going to give them $500, okay? And then, well, 500, and then you got to pay the tax, man. But you're going to give them $500, then you're going to give them $65 for a video game, one game, and then you're going to keep doing that. You're going to give them the $60 for the year for Xbox Live, and on top of whatever else they want you to buy, and you're going to have to keep doing that. And you know, by the time you actually get home, get to play your game, you're already almost, what, $700 just on one day. And it's like, do I want to support a company that doesn't support its own country's, like, troops and everything? I mean, why would they do that? Why would they say your console can only be offline for a couple hours and then it's not going to work anymore? Well, it's like, this stupid thing is supposed to be able to play the games whenever I want it to play games. Okay? If I don't have internet, that means I don't get to play multiplayer. But are you going to tell me I can't play a single player game? because I don't have internet? That's stupid. You know, that's like really dumb. And it's like, I've supported the Xbox Live ecosystem, I ran clans, all this stuff like that. I really like the way they did it. They did it way better than PlayStation did theirs. But when PlayStation Plus started coming out and started getting momentum and everything, I gotta say, it's like they're going neck and neck now. They're like, you know, pretty much on the same page. You know, PlayStation Plus, though, on the plus, on the better, the pro side for them is that they actually give you games where Xbox is barely starting to do that now. And it's like, do I want to spend the extra $100 just so I can get a Kinect? I mean, primarily, we right now for Xboxes, we have about 6 Xboxes, I believe, and 2 outside in the big living rooms and whatever, and that's the one that has the Kinect on there. We bought the Kinect. I've used it 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and it came out when it first came out, so I only used it 2 weeks and never use it again. Have never used it. It just sits there collecting dust, you know, and just, I don't know, dying or whatever. And you know, I use my PlayStation, which is in the living room, and I play that because I let everybody else, they can watch Netflix and stuff off of it. But every once in a while, I'll go in the living room and play PlayStation. But pretty much, I do all of my gaming really in my room, because somebody's out there watching TV, somebody's out there talking, we have people over, cooking, blah blah, you know. It's just a hassle. And with a Kinect, it's like you have to be X amount of distance away from the TV, you gotta set it all up, calibrate this and that. It's like, I don't even give a crap, man. I just want to put the game in the freaking console or start the download or whatever and just freaking play. I don't want none of this other stuff, you know. And then, so it's like, okay, if I have to have a Kinect and you're going to force me to have another Kinect now that I already have one, it's like, how is that going to work out in the room? Am I going to have to be far away from my console? Am I going to have this wide open space? I mean, I don't have a mansion for a room, so, you know, And let's even look at another side too. What if you lived alone and you guys had a studio apartment? Do you mean to tell me that unless you're absolutely by yourself, nobody, no girlfriend, nothing, okay? If you were by yourself, then I could see, you play in the living room a lot, I would imagine. But if you have roommates or something and everybody's hanging out and you want to take your console and be like, oh man, dude, these dudes want to watch, national knitting championships, I don't know. But, you want to take your console and go play it in your room, does that mean you're not going to be able to play it because you need a hex amount of distance and stuff, or you got to talk to the console? I mean, to be honest, that one Tom Clancy game that came out where you can like give voice commands to tell your units what to do or whatever. I mean, it was a cool concept, I think, but it kind of feels ridiculous when you're doing it. When it just feels like you're just talking to yourself, and it's like, hey, reload, Xbox, do this. Like, I don't want to talk to my console. Like, that's weird, you know. Like, you don't talk to your computer. Computers can do that. You can do all voice activated everything, and nobody really even does that. Your cell phones do that, and I've never seen people use that, you know. And it's like, I think for this generation, it seems like where the PlayStation 3 was and where the Xbox is, it seems like they're like switching places now. It's like this generation, now the PlayStation, it seems to be the person that's on the ball, ready to do it, and like they're all like, hey, you know what? We don't have any of those policies. You buy all the used games you want, blah, blah, blah. And I understand in the future, eventually we'll get to a part where there is no more game retailers like that anymore. Everything's going to be all online. But that's so far away. Like, ridiculously far away. And all the games look better on the PlayStation. And if you notice, at E3, all the games were played on PlayStations, believe it or not. Like, there wasn't that many that were played on the Xbox except for those exclusive ones, that Titanfall, which I don't even know if it was actual gameplay. I think it was just videos or whatever. But I mean, Destiny was played on the PlayStation, and it just seems like it's gonna be the way to go. I'd rather save $100. Eventually, I'm gonna own both of them. Like everybody else will eventually. But to start with, I'd rather take that $100 and buy 2 games, you know, and then I'll have double the fun, you know. And then it's like, I don't know. We're just gonna have to see, as more news and stuff comes out. I mean, Xbox recently just did a complete 180, so now really they were trying to force this policy on everybody, and then they're like, oh yeah, just kidding, just kidding. So it's like, I mean, it's good for all of us, but it's also reflects bad at a company because they weren't adamant about keeping their policy. They weren't like staying true to what they wanted to do, and pretty much they just crapped on everybody who worked countless hours developing those parts that go, like all the hardware and the software and everything, and building everything like that so it would be able to do that. And they just pretty much just like all over it. But we'll have to see. I mean, to be honest, everybody who asks me, I tell them, look, go the PlayStation for right now, and once the Xbox gets its act together and everything, and you start seeing like real games, like I'll probably buy an Xbox when Halo comes out. Until then, I don't see any game that I really care about. I mean, Forza, I love Forza. I like the whole aspect, the painting and the tuning of the cars and everything, but really, what is different between Forza 5 and Forza 4, except for so far as the cars are shinier? I mean, there's only been so many new cars that have been made to where it's like I want to drive them, and actually, to be honest, when I play Forza 4, I drive Datsun 510. I drive the old cars, so they're all the same, really. I don't really give a crap for the new Ferraris and like stuff like that. I mean, so I don't really see the point in that. I mean, Titanfall looks really cool, but I'm gonna play that on the PC because it's gonna be better on the computer anyways. That game looks 1,000 times better. It's gonna be just like playing Mech Assault, which started on the PC. So really, what's the point of buying one right now? Other than, hey, spend $100 more and have this like HAL 9000 machine staring at you all the time, probably collecting data on you, and they don't want to say that. Nobody wants to talk about that. I mean, does anybody really care? No, but why do I have to buy this other, thing? Like, the PlayStation Eye, eventually when I have to get one of those too to play some of the games, but at least it's not a main function, so I don't know. We'll have to wait and see as more news comes out and see what's gonna happen. But so far, I think I'm going PlayStation. I already pre-ordered mine, so. Also, feel free to like comment in there, make video responses, whatever. And I mean, the only reason why I didn't write this out on the blog or the Tumblr or anything like that is because it's freaking long and I'm lazy. You know, I just got out of school and really don't feel like writing things right now, so I'm just gonna make videos because it's easier for me. And oh, and a little update is we got a GoPro little camera thing. We're gonna start making some car videos outside, and I'll be able to do more of the vlogging thing because while I'm driving, I can just sit there and record myself with that camera or record the road, or you know, just other things like that. So feel free to like, subscribe, and even better, you know. And for every sub we get, you know, just send me a message or inbox me, and then I'll sub back, of course, like that's what we always do. So, and also, I mean, I don't know if you guys like this weird filter I put on, but it was kind of funny. There's a couple of different ones, like, see, you know, oh, that one's cool. So, yeah. Alright, you guys, whenever I make a new video,